Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of An Average Programmer. Today's gonna be a different video because we're gonna solve an HTML CSS developer assignment. So this is going to be an easy mockup, and this video is going to be divided into two sections. The first one is only for watching and identifying the different components of our mockup. Also, we're gonna see the differences between an HTML CSS developer and a front-end developer, and besides that, we're gonna use the BEM naming notation, which is one of the different naming conventions for CSS files. Okay, so this is the website that we need to construct. I cannot share with you the original mockup because for privacy policies and other things about the company, I cannot share with you this file. So, but this is basically what we need to do. We need to make this page. And we also have to have in consideration this other screen size, which is 430 times 932 pixels. Okay, so we need to make this responsive, and the interviewer should be sending you at least different screen sizes with the specifications of what you need to be doing for each component in the different screen sizes. Okay, if that's not the case, then you should be receiving an style platform file. In this case, I received an Adobe XD file, but it could be a Figma file or any other file. Okay, so if you do not have this information, you need to ask. I think that some interviewers make this on purpose in order to make you ask a lot of questions. So this is the first thing that we need to do, is to ask how all the components should behave in different screen sizes. Okay, and also one thing that I forgot to mention is what is the mission or the obligations of the HTML CSS developer. So our mission is to create only the skeleton of the page, but we should not be adding any functionalities. So this means that we should not be including JavaScript for filling, for example, the form, or for sending information to the backend or any other transactions. So that is the mission of the front-end developer, but a front-end developer can do the missions or the obligations of the HTML and CSS developer, and also adding some functionalities. So the first thing that we need to identify is how are the components going to behave. Okay, as you can see, this nav section is removed or is transformed into this hamburger menu because we don't have the solutions, alliances, company, and community tabs in the mobile form. And also you can see that the sizes of our fonts changed. This is a bigger font size than the font size that is in this screen, and also the background image is removed. As you can see, I have a tracking here, and in this version I do not have any image as my background. Okay, so that is kind of some of the things. Also, the name of the company is removed. If you can see, I only have the logo. Okay, so that's kind of the only things that you need to have in consideration. Okay, and this happens when you're not able to have the full navigation menu in the desktop view. So when the screen is smaller than this, then you can see that it changed to a responsive mode. Okay, so that's what we need to do. And as I mentioned, in this video, we're gonna see only the tags that we're gonna use. Okay, so let me share with you what you need to do. The first thing is that you need to divide all the web page into different tags. Okay, so the idea is that I'm going to have a header tag for the first part, then I will have a section tag for all the body, the remaining body, and then I will have two divs, one at the left and one at the right, and then I will have a nav tag at the middle. Okay, and after this, I'm going to have a form inside the section tag, and I'm going to have divs for each of the form sections and also for the button. Okay, so that is kind of the general overview. One thing that I need to mention is that a good practice is to manage all these links into elements of a list items. We will have an order list, an OL tag, and inside that OL tag we will have 4 tags of LI, and inside every list item we will have a link for changing views. This is really important because a lot of frameworks and libraries manage the different screens with the root or with the URL. So we need to have that in mind, okay? So let's start with our project, okay? And I'm going to put everything on my app component. So the index HTML already has the basic tags, which is head, body, and the HTML, okay? And then this app root, it's going to be referencing the items of my app.component HTML, okay? So as I mentioned, we will have the header, and we will have another section which is going to be the rest of the body. Okay, so we will have a header, and we will have 3 different parts. We will have a div for my left section. We will have a nav for my center section, and then I will have another div for my right section. Okay, so that is represented with these tags in the header. Then I will have only a form tag in my main section, and I'm going to have one div for the elements in the form title and subtitle, and then I will have four divs for my different inputs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, or I'm forgetting one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I should have 7. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I already have 6. Okay, so I already have 7. So this is kind of the main structure of my page. And as I mentioned, we're going to use the BEM naming notation for our classes. So I will use exactly that. We should not be adding. I think a good practice is to avoid class names and IDs. So obviously they are needed in specific parts, but in this first section, I'm going to add the class for the header left. So I'm going to use header left. Then I will use header center for my middle part, and I will use header right for my right section, in which I will have my button. Okay, so in this case, in my first header left, I will have an image. So this is the image, and we will have our name of the company. So when we want to put only one line of text, we should use a span. But when we have like a paragraph, then we should use the paragraph tag. Okay, so I'm using a span because I will only have the name of the company over here, right? Then we have the nav, and inside this I will have my order list. Then I will have 4 list items, and inside each list item I will have my A tag because I want to put some links. Okay, so that is good for this section. Then I will have a button tag for the header right div. So I will have my button over here, and this is already done. This is the structure for all the header. Okay, so now let's create the structure for our form and our main container. So since we're not sure that there is only gonna be one section, we should add a class name. So we're going to call this section main. Okay, then we will have our form, and I think it's not necessary to have a class name for our form. And then we should be creating the class names for our sections of our form. Okay, so now we will have a class name for this first part, which is going to be form title. Then we will have repeated and class names, because as you can see, the style is repeated for every input element of our form. So we should call this like form input. Okay, so we can call each element as form input, and then at the end we can use class form button, and we can add only the button that is going to be over here. Okay, so as you can see, we should have one input, text input, then we have another text input for the company name, then we have an email input, then we have a select, an option input, and then we have a text area input. Okay, so let's create that. We will have our span, because as I mentioned, we will only have one line of text, so that's for the name, and then we will have our input. Right? So that is going to be repeated for the second form input. Okay, so let me copy and paste this over here. In this third part, we will have the email input, but I think it's not necessary to. Okay, so I'm going to specify every type. So we will have type text. So this over here, input type text. Then we have this other div, and in here we will have the select and option input. So let's do this. Let's put select and option. Option input. Okay, so that's for this part of the form. And then we have the additional comments section. So in this, we should only have the text area. Okay, so we have these, and we have the text area. Okay, so I have one additional form input, and that should be all for this first section of the video. Okay, so I hope this was useful for you. We're going to be checking in the second part the spacing and the styling, and we're going to work with our CSS file. So if you would like to see that second part, I'm going to upload that video on Monday or Tuesday, so stay tuned for that, and see you in another video. Bye.